Uh, apples to apples for us. Up to you.
KJ 482, Roger, when able direct 11 for the ILS runway 18.
Okay, we're going direct 11 on Gamma Jet 482.
Okay. Let's get started. So tonight we are back in the epic E1000.
New York Center.
Doing a quick hop down to New York.
Mike Delta, level 8000.
It looks good. The flags and chalks out. But yeah, so Vatsim's having a weekend event down in New York City, so should be lots of traffic and full control on the way down, and it's a nice 30-minute hop. So we'll do the return trip too, and that'll be a nice 1-hour little jaunt in the sim. All right, let's make sure the levers are all where they should be.
Ready for Mike Delta Boston Center.
And go ahead and get that voice gone. There we go. All right, let's get started up. Battery, avionics, a fuel tank, and let's go ahead and program in our flight plan before we get started. Anything else? So flight plan tonight, fairly simple, using an ATC preferred route, which is a published route that you see especially in congested areas like the Northeast or something like Southern California. They're all over the States, and it's basically just the route that ATC usually likes to send people. And so that route today is going to be, what is it going to be? Oh, that route differs than what I have here. Well, we're going to the Providence VOR, and then the Norwich VOR, Victor 16 to the Calverton VOR, and then Victor 46 to the Deer Park VOR, and then straight into JFK. Let's go ahead and plug this in. We are on the ground at Providence, Kilo Papa Delta, Papa Victor Delta, and first waypoint is Providence VOR. And what's next? RW. Third airway. Going to be Victor 16. And we're getting out of Victor 16 at Calverton, which is Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Yeah. And after that, we have another airway, 46. And we're getting out at Deer Park. And then from Deer Park, you're going direct to JFK. So for this flight, this is not very long, and the winds are pretty variable getting up there. We're going to stay low. We're going to stay at 4,000 feet, which should hopefully be pretty nice visually. VFR weather all the way down. Obviously, we've got it, the time is turned back a little bit so we can have a nice daytime flight. Even though it is obviously nighttime here. You get the weather, because that altimeter is very wrong. Because yeah, we should be, I think, 54 feet off the ground. And that would, yeah, 3016, the current altimeter. Right, so let's go ahead and get the engine started. We will give Boston Center a call. They will give us our clearance and supervise our departure out of here. And then they will handle us most of the way until we get to about Long Island, and then we'll get handed off to New York Center, and we'll have control all the way down to ground at JFK. And then we turn it back around and basically do the same thing in reverse. All right, so let's get through our engine start checklist. We are in our left tank. Fuel pumps are on. Let's go ahead and get the strobe, nav, and the beacon lights on. Let's go ahead and starter. And igniter. Fuel goes on. Prop goes to high speed. There we go. Let's see. And that's our pressurization kicking in.
Check engine. Check engine.
All right.
Check engine.
And let's see here. There we go. Wasn't hearing myself in the headset. There we go. Okay, so our engine is on. All the instrumentation checks out. We can go ahead and put the start engine on. Turn the igniter off. Fuel auto selector can come on. Pusher. Autopilot, trim. And that's it for systems. We'll go ahead and turn the windshield heat on because it is cold out, but there's really not any moisture. So no need for the inertial separator. Pitot install heat will come on. And we'll go ahead and get our taxi light on. Put the altimeter on this side too, 3016. And altitude checks out. Okay, let's get the avionics set up here. And then we can go ahead and switch back to Boston Center and give them a call once we're ready to copy.
FedEx 3366 cross trait at and maintain flight level 240.
Trait at flight level 240, FedEx 3366.
Boston Center, Epic, November 401 Tango Sierra at the ground, Providence, looking for IFR to JFK.
Epic 401 Tango Sierra, Boston Center, good evening, clear and center, standby.
Tango Sierra.
American 147, descend via the Ocean 4 arrival, runway 22 left to Boston Center 3012.
Descend via Ocean 4 arrival, expect runway 22 left for American 147.
KJ 482, cross 11 and VOR at or above 4,900, cleared ILS running 18 approach.
We'll cross Lebanon at or above 4,900, clear for the ILS, KJ 482.
Redwood 678 Boston Center, resume normal speed, climb and maintain, flight level 210.
Climb and maintain flight level 210.
Epic 401 Tango Sierra, cleared to the New York Kennedy Airport via radar vectors to Norwich, which is Oscar Romeo Whiskey, and then as filed. Climb maintain 3,000, expect 4,000, 10 minutes after departure, squawk 4704.
Alright, clear to Kennedy, radar vectors, Norwich, then is filed, 3,000, 4,000 in 10 minutes, 4704 in the box 1 Tango Sierra.
Epic 1 Tango Sierra, readback is correct. Wind 2405, altimeter 3016, advisory taxi going 23 for departure.
We'll advise ready to taxi 1 Tango Sierra. Okay, did I get that right? 4704, yep. And we can go ahead and squawk. Mode Charlie, altitude. We do have an altitude restriction, which is 3,000 feet. Let's see, anything else, anything else? Just,
Was it 441 at pilot's discretion, descend and maintain 10,000.
okay, that seems a little bit better for volume. Trying to mix everything in here.
441.
Okay, so we're going to be departing 23, which is the runway right to our left here. And that's going to be a southwest departure. So let's go ahead and put in our heading bug. 230. Other than that, we're all set. We'll just do a quick ground movement test and get going here. So brakes released. Looking for left rudder, right rudder, and brakes. Both brakes are good. Cool. Boston Center, 1 Tango Sierra, Providence, ready to taxi. And so we're just going to make a nice left. 23 Alpha, 1 Tango Sierra.
Captain 42 radar since terminated, report burger inbound.
That is a taxi clearance I have heard many times in my life.
42, roger, and I'll report it now.
It's my favorite taxi clearance to get, because especially in a smaller aircraft, any other taxi from the field, especially from the north parking over here, it takes a long time. It's a nice long trip. Right, so as we taxi, our engine instruments are looking good, our avionics are all set up, our altimeter's been set, we have the weather, and we know what we're going to do after takeoff. Other than that, let's see, yeah, we've cleared any faults, we just have the beta mode indicator in, which should be expected. Going a little fast here. So, this is 2-3. Slow it down.
Boston Center, American 147 would like a lower flight level and would like
we're working with the center controller, so he's got a lot of other people to handle. So we're just going to hang out here for a second before giving him a call, and if we feel like he's forgotten us, we can go ahead and talk to him a little bit more.
Descend via the Rago American 147.
Set up our autopilot here for a
278, that's approved, report back, please.
2,500 feet per minute climb. Right, props full. Everything else is configured.
Boston Center United 477, so he's climbing 9,700 for 4,000.
Yeah, 477 Boston Center, good evening, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb to flight level 230, United 477.
American 147, just to verify you do have the runway 22 left transition plugged in, is that correct?
Do one last check of the flight controls here, make sure everything
American 147, just to verify you do have the
correct.
runway 22 left transition plugged in, is that correct?
We can go ahead and get out of beta mode too.
Yes, I do have runway 22 left transition for the ocean for arrival American 147.
Thank you.
Center 1 Tango Sierra, ready to go, 2-3.
Good evening, Canada.
I might have gotten stepped on there.
Boston Canada 1543, 2410.
Canada 1543 Boston Center, good evening.
Center 1 Tango Sierra.
1 Tango Sierra, the wind 2305, fly runway heading runway 23, clear for takeoff.
23 clear for takeoff, runway heading 1 Tango Sierra. That was a little bit misformatted, but otherwise okay. So, glad we punched in that heading, because we are indeed supposed to maintain runway heading. Final approach path is clear, nobody is on the runway, and landing lights are on, strobe lights are already on, and we are ready for takeoff. It's lights, camera, action.
Canada 957.
Let's go ahead and set takeoff power here. Get on center line and stay there.
American 101, contact near approach.
So that's our rotate speed, so gently up on the yoke. Feeding an ever so slightly a crosswind correction here. Alright, that's positive rate.
Gear up.
Gears coming up. And we will maintain runway heading here.
Position with.
And now we just want to watch our speed and make sure we're not breaking the 250 knot speed limit under 10,000. And also keep in mind we're going to get to 3,000 pretty quick. This is a high performance aircraft.
Canada 957 Boston Center. you're at level 340 there.
Yep, 340.
Alright, so I think a data tag right here.
That's 1,000 feet to go.
Thanks.
And I'm going to start pitching down and coming off the power.
401 Tango Sierra radar contact on in 4,000 down.
4,000 leaving 2.7. So up to 4,000. And still on this heading.
1,000, thank you. Right, Jack Morris.
Right, direct 1 Tango Sierra. And away we go.
And Center United 477, just requesting cut the corner into Chester or Hancock.
Yeah,
Autopilot engaged.
477 direct Chester, climb maintain level 340.
Oh, easy there, autopilot.
Chester up to 340, United 477, thank you.
That's not good.
Autopilot disconnect.
Alright, so we're going to have to troubleshoot why the autopilot wants to do that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and go direct to that VOR. And let's just double check that flight director is giving me correct guidance here. Okay,
Autopilot engaged.
let's try that one more time. I wonder if that's a trim issue. It looks like the trim is set incorrectly.
Expecting runway 22 left.
That's coming up now. That was weird.
Air Canada 957, switch back to New York Center on 125, 132.
Right, cheers, bye.
Alright, well hopefully that won't happen again, because that was
3366 cross tower.
not super fun.
1,250 knots. DK out 03062.
But everything else seems to be going well. So our after takeoff checklist, flaps are up, gear is also up, engine temp instruments are in the green. We're going to be under 10,000 for the duration of the flight, so we have to stay under 250, which will be a true airspeed around the same at this altitude.
Runway 18, clear to land.
And we're going to keep our landing lights on for the duration of the flight since we're flying at a low altitude here.
Center American 100 heavy flight, or I'm sorry, 17,000 direct merit.
American 100, Boston Center, good evening, climb maintain level 350.
Super. That was a little bit more adventurous than I thought it should be after takeoff there.
350 normal speed, American 100 heavy.
Cool. Well, we will get on our way. We're on track for, we've got 25 minutes until we get to JFK at this speed, at this altitude, which is pretty much where we're going to be at the entire time. So just up here to enjoy the scenery now, which is nice. It's been a long fucking week. So we've got traffic over the nose, looks like opposite direction. Green light's on the left-hand side, his red light's on the right-hand side. He's coming towards us. He looks maybe 2,000 to 3,000 feet above us, so no factor for sure. But I wonder what kind of airplane he is. If we zoom in close enough, we might be able to see it, and sometimes you'll get labels that will say and make it easy to cheat. But I bet that guy, so he's 3,800 feet above us. I bet that guy's coming out of New York. Actually, and while I'm just hanging out up here, I'm gonna pull up the traffic map on the other computer and see what the traffic looks like. Decent amount of people. Looks like it's picking up. A lot of arrivals, a few departures. And so I believe that was an A320 at leaving JFK and going to Boston. That's who that was. And we'll probably see a few more of those guys. Since Boston's online, that's going to be a pretty popular route, the JFK Boston shuttle. Alright, so we are approaching the Greenwood, is that right? Norwich VOR. We're going to make a left-hand turn down to the Calverton VOR. And Calverton is on the north side of the tip of Long Island, the northeast Long Island. And then from there we make a right turn, essentially direct to JFK. So after we make this left-hand turn here, we will start getting out over water, getting over to Long Island.
Redwood 678, contact Boston, approach 118.25,
Contact Boston approach 118.25, going, sir.
And while we're doing nothing up here, let's go ahead and get our radio tuned for New York Center. Should be, I guess he's probably going to put us at 2532. Kind of find out, but sounds about right.
Fuel tank switched.
Get our common nav 2 up as well.
FedEx 3366, contact New York, approach 15.7,
So let's see, we've got a 12 knot crosswind and a headwind from 337, which we are going to turn a little bit more away from. That'll be more of a direct crosswind. Maybe an ever so slight tailwind, but really not one big enough to matter. Let's go ahead and just watch the speed there, make sure we're hanging out at 250 like we want to be. I'm going to go ahead and hide the frequencies since it is busy tonight. There are a lot of frequencies. It's really handy when there's not a whole lot of people online. You don't have a typical flow from controller to controller. But that's not the case tonight. A lot of people online. Look in the back. Very, very nicely done, but empty cabin today. Oh yeah, it has been a long week, and started getting sick at the tail end, which has been really not fun. So, investing in a humidifier though, which is really a luxurious thing to have, especially in the winter. So now we just have a series of waypoints along Victor 16. So there are two types of airways. Well, there's more than that, but there's two main types of... 257, 1 Tango Sierra, yeah. I guess that's true, we are technically too low for en route control. So, what is that, 25.7? Which is New York approach. Let's go ahead and give him a call. New York approach, Epic 1 Tango Sierra with you, level 4000. Should have given him my full call sign there.
The ILS runway 31 right approach. Kennedy altimeter is 3022.
22 altimeter, 31 right, ILS is what we'll expect 1 Tango Sierra. Okay, so we're expecting 31 right. Clear 3022.
Approaching waypoint.
Set that on here too. What was I saying? I was talking about the airways. So there are two main airways in the States. There are Victor Airways, and then there are Juliet or Jet Airways. And so the Victor Airways go up to 18,000 feet transition altitude, and then the Jet are the high altitude airways that go up the flight levels from 18,000 onward. So we're flying Victor Airways tonight because we are nice and low. So Victor 16 to Calverton, and then Victor 46 to Deer Park. And basically Victor Airways are basically a modernization from, they connect different VORs and other waypoints with GPS waypoints. So old school IFR flight, you would be flying essentially VOR to VOR. Those are directional radio-based instruments. But now that GPS is a thing, you can have essentially arbitrary navigation points defined by GPS position. And that's what all of those 5-letter waypoints that we have programmed in. So 3-letter waypoints are going to be VORs and NDBs, all VORs for us tonight. And then the 5-letter ones are GPS coordinates. So the VORs and the 3-letter waypoints, those have names essentially that line up with that coordinate with the city that they're in. So Calverton's the one we're heading to. It's in Calverton. And then the 5-letter GPS coordinates are designed to be pronounced phonetically. So right now we're going from Yoder to Flib, and from Flib we'll go to Cream, and then from Cream to Vicky, Vicky to Keed, and then after Calverton we will go to Pasta. Anyways, let's plug in the approach here. So arrival.
Epic 1 Tango Sierra, New York approach, radio check.
1 Tango Sierra with you.
Approaching waypoint.
Thank you, FedEx 3366 Heavy, New York approach.
Oh, good. I thought he was calling me for a second, and I was just been missing him, but no, someone else is Nordo. FedEx 3366 apparently. Okay, so we're expecting the ILS 31 right, no star, and it's going to be vectors to final, so no initial airfix. So this adds that little segment after Deer Park. So from Deer Park, we will get on the approach via Maldi. In reality, we'll be vectored into the final approach course. But while we're here, we can go ahead and brief that. So let me go ahead and jump into ForeFlight on my iPad here. And I am working on a way to get ForeFlight on the stream. It's not super complicated, but it adds a little bit of processing overhead, so I want to do that once I'm using the second computer for the stream. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get JFK, looking for an approach, wireless localizer, 31 right. And let's go ahead and brief it. So first important thing, let's go ahead and switch to our nav radio here. The localizer is 111.5.
Approaching waypoint.
Right, where are we right now? We're going to Cream. Okay, so 111.5. The approach course is 315. Go ahead and set this on our backup navigation there. And so basically from Deer Park, the full approach is to fly one of the radials, either 246, 236, or 228. Initial fix is catted, then Maldi, then Zulab, and the intercept is at Zulab at about 1900 feet, and we'll be at 3000 for the initial altitude as we intercept the localizer. Intercept the glide slope is going to be at Zulab, rather. Missed approach, climb to 1800, then climbing left turn to 2000 direct the CRI VOR, then climb to 4000 via the 225 radial off of the Canarsie VOR, and then a hold. Doesn't actually say at what distance from that VOR, so that'll be given to us by ATC should we have a missed approach. But the weather is beautiful. There's no reason that we're going to go miss today, at least for weather. And honestly, we're going to be hand flying it all the way down. Alright, so what's our ETA here? We're looking 14 minutes. So, to our right is Connecticut. Over a little bit less than direct right is Bridgeport, although you can't really tell. And then we're just about to get over Long Island here. We're approaching from the northeast. And we're going to fly just north of an airport that I would actually like to visit in real life one day. It's a nice little delta called, it's MacArthur, so Long Island MacArthur. But this whole area would be really fun to fly around in. I've just really flown around Providence, and then a little bit of time in Chicago a week ago. So as we come in here, two things are going to happen. We're probably going to slow ourselves down once we get a descent, and then that descent is going to be just at 3,000 feet. So pretty small descent. It's one of the benefits of flying so low like this. Typically you want to fly higher because of favorable winds and fuel efficiency. An aircraft like this is much more efficient at altitude, but for a flight as short as this, at like 30 minutes, you're really not noticing a lot of time savings or efficiency savings. So right now, yeah, we're running at 62 gallons per hour fuel flow, and at altitude you can get that down to around 50. 230 vectors for spacing off of Calverton, 1 Tango Sierra. Alright, so we're going to get vectored in pretty early on here. So that's 230, that's a 10-degree deviation to our left. That's actually what I'm already set up at the heading. So we're 3 miles from Calverton, 0 minutes, like 10 seconds. Just zoom in on the map and we can really see it in fine detail. And so basically as soon as we get overhead, we'll go ahead and hit the heading button on our autopilot in the center console, and that'll tell it to stop following the magenta line and follow the assigned heading, which is 230. So we'll go ahead and hit that now. It'll give us a slight left turn. And then we can go ahead and set our primary nav to the localizer that we have set up here, 111.5, which is the localizer for the 3-1 right ILS approach that we were given to, or told to expect. And so now the aircraft is not relying, or won't rely once we switch back to nav mode on the GPS. Instead, it will rely on our radio navigation. Localizers are part of ILS approaches, and those are all radio based, and they send it's like an automatic course and direction, and then a glide slope once you get close enough. Some aircraft are so advanced that they have auto land systems that they can follow that all the way down.
Traffic 1 Tango Sierra, maintain 250 knots for now. Yeah, I'll slow you down a bit.
Alright, 250, that's what we're currently at for 1 Tango Sierra, and we'll maintain that. So yeah, now as we're getting into the terminal area, we're going to be competing with a lot of larger aircraft. Everyone slows down quite a bit once you're on approach, but it happens pretty quick, so got to be able to keep up with everyone.
American 67 Heavy, New York approach. Good evening. Expect the ILS runway 31 right approach. The altimeter is 3022.
ILS 31 right, yep. 3022, ready.
Alright. Hopefully my drinking is not super loud on mic. I'm using my actual aviation headset, and it's usually pretty good at being quiet when it's supposed to be. But just one of those nights where a nice vodka soda
Tech switched.
helps a little bit with the flying. Let's see what's going on with the traffic here.
American 67 Heavy, descend and maintain 9 knots.
Pretty good traffic.
Alright, 67.
Nothing too crazy, but pretty good for Vatsim for sure. Alright, so we are 10 minutes out from the field. Might be able to see it off the right nose. I don't know if the sim will have loaded it. But it is out there, just over there. And so basically we're getting vectored out over the water here. We're currently perpendicular to our final approach course, and so he will probably fly us in perpendicular and then let us intercept the localizer, and then we'll just fly straight in. That way he can get everyone sequenced beforehand.
American 67 Heavy, when you get to 9 knots, reduce speed to 230.
And let's go ahead and scroll out. Yeah, we can see there's a lot of traffic over around JFK. A lot of people taking off and landing.
Traffic 1 Tango Sierra, turn right heading 270, reduce speed to 210.
210 speed, 270 heading 1 Tango Sierra. Alright, so that's 270. And down at 210. And so there's no real descent phase to speak of. I mean, we'll eventually get down there, but we don't have much to go. So we'll go ahead and go through that checklist right now. We'll go ahead and put the rider on for approach. Landing light is on.
67 Heavy, turn left.
No anti-ice beyond what we already have is needed, so we're good there. Engine instruments are good.
Traffic 1 Tango Sierra, contact New York approach 132.4, connect.
32.4, 1 Tango Sierra, see ya. Okay, so let's get back in comm mode. There we go. And that was 32.4, I think. I hope that's right. Yeah. New York approach Epic 401 Tango Sierra with you 4,000 feet.
Yeah, 1 Tango standing after approach, roger.
And proper phraseology, I probably should have told him about the 210 speed restriction. Not 100% necessary, but
Number 1 Tango Sierra,
good
what's
form.
marking tonight?
We're just going to turn around really quick at the FBO.
Okay, in that case, if you want, expect the vectors for the ILS runway 31 left approach, the FBO's on that side.
Yes, sir, we will take 3-1 left.
1 Tango Sierra, roger. Expect vectors out from runway 31 left.
Alright, we'll expect vectors 3-1 left, 1 Tango Sierra, thanks. Okay, so we're going to delete this arrival. Going to insert arrival. We're going to go ILS 3-1 left.
approach, how long Tango 010?
None. None. Alright, that's set up, and similarly we're going to swap our plates out, so get the V1 left plate up. And so that localizer freak is going to be, what is it going to be? 1135. So switch back into nav mode, pop that out, tune that down to 35. 3001 Tango Sierra. Go vertical speed mode. Do a normal 1,000 feet per minute descent, and back down on the throttle so that we don't bust our 210 speed limit. Alright, so let's get into ForeFlight here. And let's hide this current plate. Let's put the correct plate on there. Procedure. Approach. ILS 31 left. Vectors to final. Enter route. Close. Perfect. So we're basically on a heading to get to our initial fix and intercept the localizer here. We'll be down in like 10 to 15, depending on how slow we have to get here. Speaking of, we can go ahead and throttle up a little bit here to get back to 210, especially as we level up. We'll want to bring that power back in. And now that you mentioned it, let's take a look at the airport diagram here and remember exactly where we're parking. Because I'm used to flying at LaGuardia. Yeah, so 31 left, we will take that. I mean, we'll probably want to clear the runway, unless it's not busy at all. Otherwise, we could land long and just take a right turn into shelter. But we'll probably land, honestly, before Lima. Left 2201 Tango Sierra. But getting ahead of myself. Oh, what's going on here? That should have been a left turn, buddy. What's going on?
Autopilot engage. Autopilot disconnect.
Weird. I don't know what's going on, but
that was a left turn. Turn left heading of 230 now.
230 left turn, 1 Tango Sierra. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's start focusing up here, because something's not happy with the autopilot right now.
1 Tango Sierra traffic, full pocket, 5 miles, on final 31 right, 3000, everybody 320.
1 Tango Sierra, we have the traffic. Okay.
Tango Sierra, you will not be a factor.
Okay, so got both traffic in front of us. We are on the correct heading. We are approaching the 3000 altitude. We have our correct speed. Really not sure what happened with the autopilot there, giving us a right-hand turn. That's shouldn't have happened.
1 Tango Sierra, turn right, heading 260 to 718 2000.
Right, 260 down to 2000, 1 Tango Sierra. Alright, let's see if this works here. 260, right-hand turn.
November 1 Tango Sierra, speed your discretion, no less than 210 for now.
No less than 210, 1 Tango Sierra. And altitude down to 2000. The vertical speed, 1,000 feet per minute descent. And so if it's no slower than 210, we can pick it up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and keep our throttle basically where it's at and accelerate down to 2000. So we've got that traffic off of our left here. So I'm guessing he's going to have us essentially pass under that traffic. Because that is coming our same way here.
November 1 Tango Sierra, 7 miles from me. Ending 280, maintain 2,000 on South Slope Left, 6 miles from runway 31 left approach.
Alright, clear ILS 31 left approach 280 until established 1 Tango Sierra. Alright, so we'll continue our right hand turn here. And gonna get the approach armed.
American 67,
Okay. And we are established. Okay, there's our runway. It's a little disoriented there. So let's go ahead and slow it down.
November 1 Tango Sierra, keep the speed up.
Right. Keep the speed up 1 Tango Sierra. So let's keep it at 225. We'll give them best forward speed, which is technically 250. Once we intercept the glide slope, though, we'll have to go down for sure. Because our can't have the flaps or the gear up that are down that fast. Over to Tower 1, take us here. And I missed that frequency, so let me see. JFK Tower is 119.1. I should know that. JFK Tower, Epic, November 401, take us here with you, ILS 31 left. And looks like we are, there we go, there's the glide slope, so. 31 left, clear to land, 1 take us here. This will be a fun approach. So,
Gear down.
gear's gonna come down. That'll help slow us down, because our final approach speed should be something like 110. We are massively fast in order to keep up with the traffic that's in the area. Let me go ahead and clear this. And I'm gonna go ahead and put our first notch flaps in.
Yeah, I can see the left turn now. So
And that's full flaps.
If you need just the heading of...
And getting a little slow there. So let's keep it around 100 knots, 105.
190, American 50.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm on a stable approach at this point. I'm gonna hand fly it all the way down. Tower is really quiet.
Copy, 3, 1.
Oh no, tower's fine. It's just the other aircraft is quiet. Great.
50, good night. Tower, Alaska 292, final, right.
Alright, so now we're just making small corrections. I've got an 8-knot crosswind on the right-hand side, so we'll be cognizant of that. We'll fly a little bit of a crab here. Get the view centered up. And make sure our power's correctly set here. And we've got a nice displaced threshold here. And you see the traffic on the ground. Not a problem. And we're coming in a little below glide slope, so let's shallow out our descent here.
Traffic. Climb.
Just gonna ignore the TCAS here. Technically, you wouldn't ignore a resolution advisory for sure in a TCAS, but currently in this aircraft it's in beta, and it gives you RAs in the terminal area like this, even when they don't necessarily make sense. It's a little conservative. Alright, so we need to go ahead and get on centerline even with this crosswind here. Getting blown off course. So that's our crab.
50,
Alright, so landing is made.
30,
Gonna drop the throttle here.
10,
Introduce some more rudder. And
Clear of conflict.
nicely down. And use a little bit of aerodynamic braking on the elevator here. And we're going to keep the speed up and take the next right-hand exit. Which is going to be the...
You can extend your rollout all the way to the end, and let me know when you vacate.
all the way to the end. We'll let you know when we're turning off once it goes here. Alright, so we're actually going to keep the speed up. Do a nice extended rollout here.
Actually, one thing, to make the next right turn available at the high speed, not the short turn, but the high
fuel tank switched.
Alright, right on the next high speed. Ground point 9 are right on the next high speed once it gets here. Alright, and so the next high speed is here. So that acceleration was not the greatest idea in the world, but oh well. Where's the next high speed? We didn't miss it, did we? No. Okay, that might not be represented in our scenery here, which is annoying. Anyways, go ahead and get the flaps up, and then ground point 9er is our frequency here. Make our right turn. And we will go ahead and put the props in beta mode as we taxi here.
Speedbird 437 heavy, turn left for the...
Okay, so we are well clear of the runway. Go ahead and stop it. Yeah, that aircraft was waiting for us. Okay, we're definitely clear of the runway. So we're on Papa Alpha? Yeah. Kennedy ground, Epic 401 Tango Sierra. 401 Tango Sierra is at Papa looking at taxi shelter. So you're going to make a left on Papa and then Papa Charlie. The last call for 401 Tango Sierra? Okay.
Oscar 292, clear through and right on Victor, parking at Terminal 8.
Oscar 292, Kennedy ground, welcome to Kennedy, Terminal 8, taxi via here. Continue on Bravo and turn on to Tango.
Bravo and Tango Alpha into the ramp, thanks for the error correction. Tango into the ramp, Alaska 292, thanks.
Good evening, Kennedy ground, American 950 Heavy, looking at taxi to London.
American 950 Heavy, runway 31 left.
Is there anyone over here? No.
Juliet, Blue Cross, runway 22 right.
Roger that, he said runway 31 left, taxi via Alpha, Juliet, and cross runway 21.
Okay, let's go. Another call.
American 950.
Ground 401 Tango Sierra. Did we miss a clearance?
Right on Alpha.
Jesus. Okay.
Stand by. American 950 Heavy, right on Alpha, Juliet, Zulu, cross 22 right.
There's that British Airways.
Right on Alpha, Juliet, Zulu.
777 maybe? I don't remember.
For American 950
Heavy. Previous aircraft, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 1 Tango Sierra. We just wanted I think we missed a radio call.
Number 401 Sierra, state your intention, please.
Yeah, we're looking to taxi to shelter. We're currently at Papa Alpha.
Alright, number 401, continue taxi Papa and turn right onto Papa Bravo, join Quebec, and go to Quebec Delta.
Alright, Papa Bravo, Quebec Delta, 1 Tango Sierra. don't think that is technically a correct clearance there. What we want to do is stay on Papa, and then make a turn at, no, I guess he's right. So, Papa, right turn, then a left turn, and then, whoop. That's what happens when you're not looking out the window and you're looking at a chart. Right. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. That was confusing for a second. Rudder does feel nice and twitchy today. Yeah, I can't tell if that the crosswind or what, but it's fighting me a lot. You can always fix that by slowing down though.
Left Bravo.
Alright, so we will left here on Quebec, and then into the ramp on Quebec Delta. So yeah, his clearance was perfectly fine. I'm just not familiar with the airport and getting a little ahead of myself.
American 67 just vacated 31 right. For some reason, we're shooting up at 150, not like in 2 minutes. Hopefully, we can actually get more what we exactly.
American 67.
Anyways, once we get parked, we will stay, yeah, looking at our fuel, we will definitely stay up and refile the reverse of our flight plan real quick. And, oh cool, so the right taxiway is not represented on, in this scenery. So, lesson of today, I have a really nice LaGuardia scenery. I don't have a really nice JFK scenery, and it needs to be updated. I'm not doing stupid stuff like this, getting stuck in the grass.
Roger, American 619, heavy and Bravo 31 left. Taxi via November Bravo, left Bravo.
Okay.
Juliet, Zulu cross runway 22 right.
And the parking brake set. Okay.
31 left, November Bravo, left.
So, easy thing to do here is delete our approach. And other than that, that should be correct. So we will just reverse this. So, reverse flight.
Left Bravo, Juliet, Zulu cross 22 right.
So that's DBK. What is it?
Left Bravo, Juliet, Zulu cross 22 right.
Second here. So DPK Victor 46, Calverton, Victor 16. Yep. Okay, so let's reverse that. I'm gonna do this at 5,000 feet now. 50,000 feet. 5,000. There we go. Okay, cool. And let's go ahead and hop over to delivery.
American 950 cross 22 right, continue taxi.
And delivery is... What is clearance? New York clearance delivery is 13505.
Alright, American 9649, traffic in front of you should be moving soon. But seems like you got it taken care of. Radar vectors merit, climb via the SID, expect
X-Plane is giving me an ATIS for some reason. Oh wait, no, is that yeah, that sounds like the X-Plane default. Because yeah, this is Kennedy clearance. Interesting. Always funny how X-Plane does weird stuff like that. And I can't shut it off for whatever reason. But I'd really like to, because I never use the built-in ATIS. Anyway, so we're going to get turned around really quick here and head to Providence. So on that note, let's switch up the old overlay here.
Roger, American 1039
per third.
correct. Verify you have, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the correct data so I can get that for you. Verify you have
There we go.
advise when ready to taxi. Actually, advise ground when ready to taxi. Then 121.9.
So I'm gonna adjust my sound a little bit.
Yeah, you know, we'll go. American 129.
Oh, why are my
And
engines all the way up?
feedback is correct. Verify your squawking.
That makes a huge difference.
Squawk 1547.
Yeah, we could turn them up a little bit. And those can jump up. Okay. Now we just have to listen to the ATIS, unfortunately.
Pushing start to your discretion. Contact ground when ready to taxi. Then 121.9.
Yeah, that's just gonna do that. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and file our flight plan here. Do it directly through X-Squawk box. Nope.
Last call, radio check. Loud and clear.
X-Squawk box and flight plan. We are an IFR flight. T. Plant Golf.
And American 1039.
KJFK. Providence. Cruise altitude is going to be 5,000. True airspeed is going to be 250. Departure time in Zulu is going to be 0045. Flight time 2 hours 30 minutes. And how much fuel do we have? Got half tanks, so that should be about 230. And our route is Deer Park, Victor 46, then Calverton, Victor 16, then Norwich, then Providence, and we're not going to file alternate. I mean, we can file Newport. Honestly, might divert to Newport just for some fun. It's a fun airport. Anyways, we'll go ahead and let that chooch in the system, and we should be good to go here. Right. Starting to feel that vodka, which is really wonderful, and I'm trying to concentrate. So I suppose it's really, I'm the only one to blame about that. Alright, also let's go ahead and do a quick check of the weather. They were calling Bravo. 240 at 10, 10 square miles visibility, scattered 26,000. Temp 9, dew point -3, altimeter 3023. And set that.
New York delivery, Delta 407 Heavy, good evening, requesting a hard clearance to Zurich South.
And we can go ahead and squawk standby because we're probably going to get a new code. Oh man, the ATIS is going to bug me. I think I can kill it if I nuke the comm radio. Hey, that sounds a lot better to me. Okay. So we are still November 401 Tango Sierra, but we are going to Providence. We have information Bravo. I believe? Yes, it is information Bravo.
Yankee transition, radar vectors Eddie, direct Nantucket filed.
And after this guy gives his read back, we can go ahead and call him up and get the hell back home.
Roger, squawk 1517 in the box for Delta 407 Heavy.
And 407, just because there's an event going on, can you please just read back the departure and the transition?
Roger that. I believe you said it was the JFK 3 departure, Betty transition, and what kind of via the SID? Expect through 3010 and squawk 1517.
Roger that. Delta 407 Heavy, that's correct. Mission start at your discretion. Just verify your fucking move, Charlie, and when you're ready to taxi, contact ground at 121.9.
Roger that. We'll make sure we're squawking Charlie when we're ready for taxi, and we'll contact ground at 121.9. Thanks, Faith. You have a good night.
New York clearance November 401 Ticket Sierra is an Epic at JFK looking for IFR to Providence.
Last call, say numbers again.
It's a 401 Tango Sierra.
Roger, I have it. November 401 Tango Sierra, clearance on request, and stand by, please. Are you going to Providence or are you going from Providence?
Going to Providence, we just refiled our return trip.
Roger, stand by.
Go ahead and resend it.
Fuel tank switched.
Oh, we're just hanging out here. Let's jump outside. Look at all the planes. Is that guy landing?
November 401 Tango Sierra, what kind of aircraft are you?
We're an Epic E1000 turboprop slant golf.
Okay, a better question from my understanding would be, can you exceed 210 knots?
Affirm, we can exceed 210 on the departure.
Roger, thank you.
It's a fairly busy Saturday night.
Clearance, good evening. American 1521 request IFR to St. John's.
American 1521, Kennedy delivery. Thanks for the request, stand by.
Let's zoom in, see what people are up to here. If we can catch a landing.
And for November 401 Tango Sierra, you are RNF capable, correct?
Affirm, we are RNAV capable.
Roger.
Gang delivery South Delta 685.
Sounds like he wants to give me a departure. Fortunately, none of those departures really work for our direction of travel, and we're also staying extremely low. So, I don't know if that really makes sense, but we'll see what he gives us.
And November 401 Tango Sierra, one second.
One Tango Sierra, ready to go. Wait, hear him, he's a little quiet.
And November 401 Tango Sierra, I'm sorry, but we have an event today, so I have to refile your entire plan. In any case, you cleared Providence Airport by the score 3 departure, Ranger transition, radar vectors, Bridgeport, that's Bravo, Delta, Romeo, direct, Mike Alpha Delta to join Victor 475 to join Victor 188, direct Golf Oscar November, direct to the airport. Climb via the SID, expect 9,010 minutes after departure. Your departure frequency is 135.9er, 1505, and please read back. Correct.
Okay, you're gonna need to give us the route again. I only cost that last half. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that full amendment.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, thank you. So score 3, Ranger, BDL, MAD, Victor 475, Victor 188, GON, and then direct to the airport. Gonna maintain 9,000, climb via the SID, and 135.90 frequency, 1505 in the box, 1 Tango Sierra.
Roger, November 401 Tango Sierra, your readback is correct. Advise when ready to taxi.
Actually, no. You contact ground 1.9 radar taxi.
Ground point 9 for taxi, 1 seconds here, thanks.
And was that American 360?
Oh man, what a correction. So usually you are going to get, often, especially when you're flying in busy airspace, you're going to get some corrections to your route. But we are also getting like a pretty major correction also in our altitude. Big change for that, which is usually not something that would happen. But I think they're just trying to do that for the sake of expediency here. So let's just go ahead and delete this full stop. And let me program it in 4 flights and take a look at that departure. So that's the score 3 departure.
Who's my next contestant cleared?
Delta 685.
I'm pretty sure I gave it Delta number 2, but in this case I was flat zone.
Okay. Alright. Changes. Let's clear this out here. 4 flight. Yeah, we're going from JFK.
Okay, well good, because Delta 685 is in for one.
And then from there, we are using the score 3 departure, Ranger transition. Add that to the routes. And then from Ranger, let's just pull this up. We're going to BDR, which is BOR in Connecticut. Then from BDR, going direct MAD. Then Victor 475. And then he said Victor 188 without a VOR in between. Which is not phraseology that I'm used to. See why that happens.
Clear to Detroit, score, Yankee transition. Then it's...
But I guess that means that's because the... Okay, interesting. And then from Victor 188, we're going to...
And Delta 685.
GON.
Push and start your discretion and contact.
And then we're going direct to the airport, which is Kilo Papa Victor Delta.
Alright, we'll give ground a call.
And now we're doing this at 9,000 feet.
And American.
Which I guess gives us a little bit of a tailwind, so that's nice. But less of a tailwind than what we would have had down lower. Okay, so I've got this programmed in 4 flight. Now time to actually put it in the aircraft itself. So insert waypoint. That's the airport. So the departure. Probably going to be coming off of 31 left. That's score 3, Ranger transition. And then from Ranger, we're going to BDR. Bridgeport. And it's all sorts of weird. Bridgeport, MAD. Yeah, it's the Madison VOR. And insert waypoint. Or no, insert airway rather. It's Victor 475. And then we're getting out of it at Carled. And then we're going on Victor 188. And we are getting out of that at Gone. And then insert waypoint, and that's KPVD. Okay, and let's go ahead and get back over to ground. Okay. So, interesting. So this is a different routing than is usually assigned by ATC. Not sure why they are wanting to do it this way tonight. But, oh well, it's what we gotta do. So we're gonna make a big ol' left-hand turn. Departing 31 left. Heading south and climbing. And then we're basically gonna turn back around, do a 180. Over to Bridgeport. Then Madison. Then, Groton. And then from Groton to Providence. Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Kilo Golf.
I guess that is technically a preferred route. It's just not a reverse routing. Interesting. Okay, so we've got that set up. Our initial altitude is going to be all the way at 9,000. And I didn't get my squawk code set up, so transponder. We are 1505, so code 150 and we're squawking altitude.
Alright, November 346 Juliet.
There's a nice little takeoff going on there.
Bravo, Quebec, and what's the year? Quebec, Charlie.
Bravo, Quebec, Charlie, 346
Alright.
Juliet Heavy.
Okay, I'm going to take a quick break before getting started here. I will just find a nice view of the airport while you guys are waiting, and we'll get going. There's a nice little airport still life. Okay, I will be back on station in just a second.
AC 3694 is a Delta 75 in your way.
That's a negative. We can probably get by him here.
Roger, AC 3694, continue taxi. Break Delta 3360. Turn here. Let me get back. Turn right onto Bravo.
Right on the run.
Indy ground, American 1039er. We had a respond back at our gate. Somebody just went right for us, Robert, taxi on the 3 on left. Are we still clear to taxi on the 3 on the left, 20 Echo right Alpha?
American 1039 affirmative, your taxi via right Alpha.
Taxi via right Alpha. American 1039, sorry about that.
Delta 3360, make a left turn from where you are right now.
Okay, back with everyone. So, let's get back to the cockpit here. So we're all set up. It took a little bit longer than I thought. Wasn't expecting that route change. Still good on fuel though, no problems there. And so this is going to be a little bit of a longer flight. It's going to be about 40 minutes. But maybe we can request 11,000 feet and punch it up. Just get going super fast. Because why not? So go ahead and set flaps for takeoff. Release our parking brake. We're still on beta mode for taxi, which is good. And we'll go ahead and call ground up.
Confirm right Yankee, right Juliet, going Alpha. Right Yankee, right.
Oh, and I need to read through my the narrative for the departure. So takeoff runway 31 left, climb heading 315. Intercept course 239 to score. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, right, 4583, you have to go inside.
Alright.
Which taxiway?
Kilo Echo is to your right.
Kilo is in front of me. I do not see Kilo Echo.
Must be scenery issues. That's Kilo Echo. Turn onto that and hold short of 31 left.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not the only one with scenery problems tonight.
4583, contact tower 119.1. Have a nice flight.
119.1. Thank you. Good night.
Turn to ground at Delta 3627. I have vacated 31 left at Mike Bravo.
Okay, just fixing sound here. Right. Kennedy Ground, November 401 Tango Sierra shelter, looking at taxi, active. That's not a really great call.
Delta 367.
He knows where I'm trying to taxi.
Terminal 3, taxi via right. Via right Bravo and Lima Alpha.
Terminal 3, right Bravo, Lima Alpha, Delta 367.
Delta 3360, you're supposed to make a right on Juliet.
Alright, just looking at close here. A non-movement area here, so let's at least
Delta 3360.
little Cessna there, hanging out. Kennedy ground 401 Tango Sierra at shelter, looking at taxi. What is going on? I am not sure.
Fuel tank switched.
Go ahead and swap frequencies pretty quick. And if we don't hear this time, then we'll go ahead and go to text. Yeah, it looks like you might have just gone offline. So we are on Kennedy Ground 121.9er. Kennedy Ground 1 Tango Sierra. Yeah, it looks like he's having connection
Delta
issue.
3360, contact her at 1.1.
Or am I?
In the 447, have a terminal to you want park answer.
Okay, well I'm getting disconnected here and I don't know, I imagine that's a controller issue since I'm still on the network. See what's going on here.
Kennedy Ground Delta 367, we've just turned left on Lima Alpha. Where is Terminal 3 in relation to us?
Delta 367, it's right. Okay, it's the terminal to
Nothing
the right.
wrong on my end.
Okay, the terminal to the right, thank you.
So we'll just do it via text. 401 Tango Sierra. So what are we? 40 Tango Sierra at a taxi with Bravo. See if this works. Maybe. Maybe he just doesn't like us. There's another plane. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And people are taking off. I guess we are at the end of the runway, aren't we?
Los Air 5 calling, stay close, please.
Delta 685, are you taxi Juliet?
Delta 685, going 3 miles. Stack Q Locker taxi ramp by Lima Limo left Alpha.
What is going on here?
Right, going 3 on left at Kilo Alpha. Kilo Echo. Delta 685, get distracted.
Delta 865, runway 3 left.
Okay, I'm gonna
865.
disconnect and reconnect.
Runway 3 left.
We're going to oh, that's good. Real quick. Swap the old frequencies here. Kennedy ground radio check. What is going on? Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, it's the controller and not me. But I'm thinking this might be one of those times when it might be me, which is a bummer because everything, well, I don't know, everything else was working, no problem. The joys of a free service powered by open source plugins. 3-1 left at Kilo Echo, taxi via left, Quebec, November, Bravo, Kilo Echo. And hopefully he heard that, because he got that text. So, not liking the, usually prefer to stick with full-length takeoffs, especially in a small plane. Especially in a single-engine small plane. But there's a lot of traffic. Odds are we'll be fine. But let's go ahead and get on the taxiway here. So what are we? Quebec, November, Bravo, Kilo Echo. And so this is Quebec here. Make a left-hand turn. No traffic. And we'll get over here. Up the viewpoint a little bit. Alright. And let's see what happens here. Oh. Wow, really not paying attention to where I'm going. I guess it's the crosswind that's throwing me off. Putting in what I feel like should be the correct correction. I'm still getting screwed up here. Anyways, not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep going down here, and eventually we're going to get ourselves to Kilo Echo. Kilo Echo intersection. Let's go ahead and punch in our heading here. Follow this turn on the right-hand side. So we're going to continue on Bravo. So he's just not talking anymore, which is a bummer. I guess it is on his end. Oh well. Figure it out. Okay, so now we're on Bravo, and we're going to take this down all the way to Kilo Echo. Actually, so I think Kilo Echo is actually not that big of a deal because of the displaced threshold. Theoretically, that is length that we could use for takeoff, and so it is length that we are losing. But I don't know, for some reason I feel better because that's just past the displaced threshold and really not all that far from the end of the runway. Oh well. Let's see, is this guy taking off over here? There he goes. Alright, so I guess we're going to get behind these guys here. Alright, so before takeoff checklist, our avionics are set, our igniter is on, and flaps are in takeoff position. Radios are set for the most part. We're going to want the tower frequency, which is 1191. And then our departure frequency that we got earlier is 13505. So that's Kilo Kilo. And then this will be Kilo Echo. And that'll be 135.9er actually. Alright. So, oh, we fucked up. Okay, lovely. So let's do a 180 here. The scenery does not match up with real life, unfortunately. So that Kilo Kilo intersection is actually Kilo Echo in reality. Love it. So, ooh. So that is an aggressive hold short. Oh well. You tell us to go to tower yet? I'm gonna go ahead and contact tower. I'm not sure what's going on there.
And any other aircraft standing by for Kennedy Tower?
Tower 401 Tango Sierra, holding short 31 left at Kilo Echo. Custom livery would be super fun.
401 Tango Sierra, Kennedy Tower, turn left for the Ranger transition, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff.
Left to the Ranger transition, 31 left, clear for takeoff, 1 Tango Sierra. That is interesting instruction.
No delay for crossing the runway.
Okay, so we're clear for takeoff, so let's get on our way. Are we in beta mode? We are indeed, so let's get out of beta mode. Let's go ahead and crank that throttle. And landing lights are on. Camera. We've got that guy coming. We're gonna do a nice rolling takeoff. Yeah, custom livery would be fantastic. I actually did make one for this airframe a while back, but I'm not sure where it is. I feel like I've lost it. And it was not amazing to begin with. So, frankly, we're going to do an immediate left-hand turn to Ranger here. We're also wanting to avoid the Trump Tower TFR. Go ahead and set this to nav mode. And we can engage the autopilot. Departure 1 Tango Sierra, yeah.
Traffic clear of conflict.
135.9er. Also, gear can come up, and flaps can come up. Departure 401 Tango Sierra with you 2.5 for 5000 direct Ranger. Maybe?
November 401 Tango Sierra near departure to contact hello, flight heading 130, climb maintain 7000.
130, 7000, 1 Tango Sierra. Okay, so 7000
Approaching altitude.
and 130, which should be a left turn. And if it's not, I'm going to be very upset. Okay, there we go. Get rid of that box. Anyway, so yeah, I would love to do a new custom livery. I really have a thing for like all black planes, and so that's what mine was before, but it lacked a little bit of nuance. So I would like to do that again. There's all the beautiful traffic coming in
Fuel tank
off our
switched.
left-hand side.
Altitude.
Alright, so we are getting up there nice and quick. And there's that busy airport. So we are, you know, after all that trouble of changing our flight plan, you know, it ends up that we're pretty much we're going the opposite direction of our amended flight plan, following the route that I had originally filed. But them's the breaks. All these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful planes in the sky. All being sequenced into JFK. Okay, we'll get a nice peek out of the back here. I think we're leveling off, so I'm gonna reduce our throttle accordingly so we don't bust any speed limits.
Remember 401 Tango Sierra, turn left heading 050.
Left 0501 Tango Sierra. Yeah, definitely. Need to slower up. Left one, 040.
Actually, Delta 685, climb maintain 7000.
And we've got the traffic below me. Got the traffic at roughly the same level, opposite direction. They showing up in the TCAS at all? Yeah, there they are. Yeah, so that one off the right-hand side is someone that I should be worried about because he's 2,500 feet above me and descending towards me. But we're going to be crossing their approach path. So hopefully that'll be no factor. Yeah, he's already, okay, both those guys are well below me. We do have one guy opposite direction climbing. He's going the same direction we are because the green is on the right and the red is on the left, and that's why those navigation lights are useful. Tells you which direction the traffic's going in relationship to you. So we're just gonna come up behind him. Anyways, I'm gonna speed on up to 250.
American 189 here, departure to contact, turn left heading 130, climb maintain 7000.
Left turn heading 120 and up to 7000, American 189.
Delta 685, turn left heading 340, contact near departure on 126.8 today.
Delta 685?
Anyways, we should be on our way fairly quickly. Given with the route that we filed, we're basically skipping up north and then kind of not zigzagging, but doing like a dogleg to the right. So it's a little bit longer than what we took coming in. But like I said, hopefully we can get up to 11,000 feet above the 250 speed restriction and just do a max performance cruise. Yeah, that plane is going up nice and high. That guy's low though. He's coming towards us on the approach.
401 Tango Sierra, climb maintain 9,000.
9,001 Tango Sierra. So once we're at 9,000, we can request higher.
American 199, maintain 250 knots.
250 knots, American 199.
November 401 Tango Sierra, contact New York approach 125.7, good day.
2571 Tango Sierra, see ya.
American 199, turn left heading 060.
Left turn heading 060, American 199.
Speedbird 2273, AV turn left heading 220. Left at 220.
New York approach 401 Tango Sierra with you 7.7 for 9,000.
Epic 401 Tango Sierra, New York approach, good evening. Climb maintain 900,000.
900,001 Tango Sierra.
Approaching altitude.
I'll go ahead and ask for the higher cruise. Approach 1 Tango Sierra. If we can get 11,000 for an amended cruise, that'd be great.
Sorry, who went in 11?
That's 1 Tango Sierra.
Epic 1 Tango Sierra, climb maintain 1,000.
1,000, thank you very much, 1 Tango Sierra. Ugh, yeah, Airbnbs, I feel like, I don't know, apartments in general, feel like run cold for whatever reason. Unless you're in, I don't know, there was one apartment that I was living in New York that was super hot all the time. And I remember I was staying there during the blizzard a few years ago, and it was like super cold and snowing outside, but let me adjust the vertical speed here. But I still kept the window wide open because it was just like super hot, and I was trying to cool it down any way I could. It's crazy. But I am sorry you are cold tonight, because that sucks. I'm very fortunate that I have a lot of hardware, a lot of electronics near where I sleep. Keeps everything nice and warm for the most part. Actually, yeah, I've got the AC running right now. Set to 68. Alright, so we can do our 10,000 feet checks. Our landing light can actually come off because we're above 10,000 feet. Igniter can also come off because we're not taking off anymore. We're not worried about the engine going out. And once we cross 10,000, we will punch it.
Speedbird 2273, AV contact New York approach on 130.4.
And so it looks like he basically gave us a vector to Bridgeport, and then from Bridgeport we'll probably get on course. So we're above 10,000 feet, so let's go ahead and punch it. I'm gonna take the prop down a little bit, just really chop through the air, and whoop, there we go. And bring our torques up to 99, 99, there we go. And our ITT is still looking good, and our NG is within limits. So we should be able to have a nice and quick cruise. Not sure how much it'll affect our total time en route, but should shave a few minutes off. I bet they do have a space heater. That's like one of my favorite investments when I had my first apartment, is buying like this really nice little space heater. It actually just died about a month ago. The fan motor completely burnt out and I couldn't source a replacement. But those things are amazing. Person I used to date had one in her bathroom because her bathroom got really cold in the morning, and it was so nice to have that. And now I've got a floorboard heater in my bathroom, so I don't really need it, but it was like one of my favorite parts of waking up was just like turning that on before making breakfast and then walking into the shower and just like having this beautifully heated tile floor. Felt so fancy. Alright, so we are level at our cruise altitude. we're doing nice 316 true. And once we turn right, we'll have a little bit more of a tailwind, so we'll get a little bit faster. And we've dropped our time en route about 5 minutes. Which for a flight this short, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Give it a little bit more too.
Seaward 15 kilo heavy, descend and maintain 7,000. Descend and maintain 7,000, speed bird 150.
Yeah, it's weird I'm seeing those network disconnections up top. You know what, I bet it is. I think when a lot of traffic happens in one area, things get kind of screwed up. But as long as he can hear me and I can hear him, all is good. I would, yeah, that's actually kind of my ideal. I want like a, I'm looking for real estate right now. I'm trying to find like a first floor studio, but sort of like a loft space, like something fairly industrial. Because that's really what I want. Is there's this loft that I've shot a few things at. It's used for like a ton of like high-end commercial work, and so when I was doing some of that kind of stuff. Oh man, I forgot what it's called. I think it's just called Gary's Loft in Brooklyn. It's like right by the Navy Yard. And it's just like this awesome, really industrial place, but there are like little corners that are like really nicely done. And that's totally what I want. I want like a corner that's a bedroom and like a little kitchen, not a little, but like a kitchen area, and then just like a big, giant concrete floor space. Hey, look, some clouds. That seems unexpected. Let's go ahead and get the inertial separator on. And we'll see a little drop in torque. But yeah, it's really great because like there are a lot of like industrial type places around here, but the problem is they've all been bought up and they're turned into like really nice apartments. And so it's like it's a struggle to find someplace that's like actually not so nice. Because the nice ones are okay, but the ones that are actually affordable are super small, and like they're separated off into rooms. I don't really want that. I just want a big space. I really just want like one wall that's just like a bunch of shelves, just across the entire wall. I love having room to sort of spread out, but I also don't like having like, I don't know, I don't like houses because they're so segmented and closed off. I like just big studio spaces. Yeah, I should, you know, shoot an email to a Philly real estate agent, see if they have any connections. I think Dan is drunk texting me, which is hilarious. He and his wife are out. He sent some very cute photos. Anyways, but yeah, I need to start looking into spaces in Philly or wherever I end up going. I gotta figure out a place to go. But first I gotta figure out a bunch of work stuff, of course. And that's all supposed to happen. I don't think he gave me a direct on course, but at this point, let me give him a call, because at this point I'm not really going in the right direction. Approach 1 Tango Sierra. I've still got a heading from you. Do you want me to go ahead and turn on course? This is 401 Tango Sierra. Ooh, Kensington. Yeah, so like that's part of what I want, is like I want the bedroom area can be sort of kind of out of the way, but the rest of it can really just be, you know, space to play, because that's one of the things that like a lot of people don't have that's so valuable. That's one of the things that I love about sort of like a traditional production house, is just like the ability to play and spread out and just experiment with cinematography stuff. I really think that makes a huge difference. Because you can actually, you know, instead of just reading about a technique and then like waiting until like an important shoot to try it, you can actually just do it, which is great. Anyways, I'm gonna send him a text message. Yeah, so I don't know why we're getting these disconnections and the voice is dropping out. It's kind of annoying. Oh, totally. Like that would be like it'd be so great to just have a space where like when I was working for the university, we had like this really cool TV studio kind of in the middle of nowhere on campus, which was strange. And one summer I took it upon myself to organize just like clearing it out. And
Fuel tank switched.
Boston Center 3470 Tango Sierra, see ya. Get tuned in here. And we ended up turning that space, which was large but not like huge, but it was a nice, you know, TV studio kind of size. I'm trying to think, I had blueprints for it, but I can't for the life of me remember the actual dimensions. Boston Center 401 Tango Sierra with you, level 1000.
Air Canada 8494, contact New York Center 133.4.
Just go to Madison. Direct. Oop. Nope. Wasn't what I wanted. Exit.
Air Canada 8494, Boston Center.
Back to. Man, where are we going now? I guess we can go to Carled. Really confused as to what's going on Vatsim today. Boston Center 401 Tango Sierra with you, level 1000, direct Carled. Also, the weather. What's going on? What's going on here? Gonna slow on down to what's happening.
Approaching altitude.
And Air 401 Tango Sierra, sorry, I'm calling you, but I'm coordinating behind the scenes.
What is going on with this porpoising here?
Boston Center, good evening. American 199, 17000.
Yeah. Chill out airplane.
Express 557, contact New York Center 133.47.
Okay. Over to 133.47. Can you specify 57? Thanks.
Okay, well now I'm hearing him, so I know he's there.
401 Tango Sierra, Boston Center, the Bradley on 3014.
3014, thanks, 1 Tango Sierra.
Yeah, 1 Tango Sierra, turn left direct garage and Golf Oscar, November.
Left direct route and 1 Tango Sierra. Yeah, I think there's just something happening with the network, which is annoying because it's resulted in some missed instructions, I'm guessing, for a lot of people, which is honestly probably going to back things up at some of the bigger airports. It's going to be annoying.
Country 251, contact Boston, approach 118.25.
Okay, well that was a weird detour here, a little out of the way. Let's get this set up here. Anyway, so yeah, we were clearing out that studio, and it wasn't huge, but we ended up turning it into, it was like an octagon. It was really cool, and so we ended up setting it up into like 6 or 7 spaces. So there was like a white and a black infinite psych, and then a green screen, and then there was there was like a talk show, like a small talk show set that was sort of like a fake library looking thing. And there were a couple other sets, I think, too, that were sort of show specific to content that was on our channel. And that was really fun. That was a really good time. Cleaning it out kind of sucked because there's a lot of old crap there. There's a lot of really cool old crap there, like a lot of like standard definition analog, like television switchers. And it was such a bummer because if it was any other institution, you probably would have just been able to take those home. But because it was a university, there was like a very clear workflow for reporting that kind of stuff. And then it got put up for sale at a surplus auction, where people like ended up paying like real money for it, which is crazy. But that was a really fun experience, like just clearing it out and sort of like working with people to design what that space would look like and then light it. It was a good time, and now they've put, you know, like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of production equipment and really modernized it, which is awesome. Oh, you probably could have totally gotten those switcher panels and used them for input. I mean, I'm trying to think exactly how you do that. I mean, you could do that one of two ways. You could do that with like a joystick interface card or with like a keyboard emulator card. Because they're just simple switches too. I mean, most of those are just simple momentary switches. There's obviously some more complicated stuff like the fader and maybe some other, you know, fancier switches. But yeah, that would be a really fun project. One thing I would like to do is some of the surplus props that I bought for my shoot a while back for the Halloween shoot. I would love to put some modern electronics in those and turn them into like just random things, you know, use them for like notifiers, or maybe put like a Raspberry Pi internet radio device in one. I would love to do some more electronics projects. I don't know, I'm just really bad at starting and finishing those. Anyways, now that we're all back on course, which is dandy, we're going direct to Groton. We're at 11,000 feet, and we are 10 minutes out from the field, which is great. But yeah, I wanna do more internet connected stuff. To really, just like having that interactivity is pretty cool. The one thing that just bugs me, like, because I have a lot of connected light bulbs and switches now, not a lot, but several. They're just like, the response time is so not instantaneous, which is a bummer, especially if you're using something like if this then that to do some like more creative programming. Just wish everything used DMX. That would make me happy. DMX everything. That was actually one of the things I was looking into not too long ago before I ended up going with like actual internet connected lights, was doing like a wireless DMX setup and having just like a board. But that would be probably a little bit excessive, but it'd be a lot of fun. I almost ended up buying some DMX lights for a shoot I was working on. The delta between the rental cost and the cost to purchase them was pretty minimal. I was thinking, might as well buy them. Direct Providence 7,000, and we do have the current weather. 1 Tango Sierra.
Approaching waypoint.
1 Tango Sierra, roger. Accept the visual approach 23.
Got the visual 23, 1 Tango Sierra. Alright, so we are good. Direct to Providence. Direct waypoints. And we're good to 7,000 feet. The weather came out of nowhere, which is a bummer. But we'll be out of it really quickly. So we'll do a nice quick descent. Not too quick though. Pesky speed limit. It's beautiful though. It's one of the things that X-Plane does really well is sort of like the transitions, like dawn and dusk. The 050 vectors for the visual 23, 1 Tango Sierra. Oh yes, moving heads would be awesome. That's like, so like that's like my secret, like one of the things that I love about programmable lights is like the idea of like programming sequences. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about just like, it would be so cool if you could connect sort of like typical Internet of Things, switch to heading here. If you could connect like typical Internet of Things recipes, like for instance, like, oh, when I arrive home, do this, and then it triggers like an insane DMX sequence, and then like your whole like house can just be like a crazy game show with all these crazy lighting effects. I would love that kind of stuff. If you could control lighting cues based on like if this then that or something like that, that would make me so happy. Because that would just be such a fun hobby, just like building those sequences and tweaking and adding to your lights and all that stuff. Alright, so we're descending, we're going to go full prop RPM. Landing light's going to come off, come on rather, igniter is also going to come on. We are still very much in the clouds, which is a bummer. Anyways, we're heading pretty much straight for Providence.
Delta 3360.
I don't know if we're going to be able to see it yet, but I'll keep this speed up, as they say. Anyways, yes, oh my god, it would be so cool to do, like, when you're away from home, you could see, like, the craziest things, right? Like, you could do, like, lightning effects, like, oh man, you could do so many fun things. And moving heads these days are, like, fairly inexpensive. So yeah, that is one of the things that I want to do is, like, when I get sort of, like, my ideal sort of, like, studio warehousey space, I absolutely want to install like a simple but like a lighting grid and like have lights all over the place and like build out different scenes, and that way like you can use that to create like a bunch of different sets for doing studio work. So yeah, you could have so much fun with it, and then like your house is just like this big beautiful TV studio that you can play around, like, which is my dream. Like, my dream house is basically like the ESPN or like a CNN studio. Like, that is absolutely my dream house. Because I just love how TV sets are put together. It's like one of my favorite things. TV and theatrical sets, just cool, cool shit. Alright, let's, so we're doing a visual to 2-3. Nothing really to brief for that. Just coming in from the north, landing south. We're going to be passing Providence Airport's TF Green on the right-hand side. We're still 5 minutes away from the airport, and so 5 minutes would be, what, like 20 miles? So? Really, I can tell how far are we from the airport. Yeah, 20 miles, almost exactly.
American 199 contact.
So that is I-95 down there, which is more or less what we're going to follow in.
18.5, American 199, good night.
That makes a lot of sense. I would love to see more of those resources, because yeah, like the Wistia lighting setup is dope. Like, it's a great way for people who don't know anything to go like, oh, this is what I should do. But then after that, like, it's so limiting. And like Wistia like did a post a while back on like the importance of like a different background. Different backgrounds like mean different things and can be used for different types of content. But a lot of people are just like, well, I don't have a lot of space, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of time, and I just want to put this together. And they end up doing like the exact same thing. And now you have all these videos that look 5001 take us here. And then you have just all these videos that look exactly the same, and it sucks. When there's just a whole big beautiful world around you. Also a big beautiful world of sets that don't actually require going anywhere. There's a lot of stuff you can do, there's a lot of stuff you can play around with. And I definitely, yeah, I mean, that's my goal, you know, in the next 6 months or so, to move into a space so that I can also, you know, double as a studio and just have a lot of fun with it. because there's sometimes, like, it's fun to go out and experiment and make work in the world, but it's also really fun to just sort of sit and refine something in a closed space and just really focus on, like, an individual, you know, technique or, you know, just like a very specific thing that you're trying to work on. It's really fun to do that in a studio environment. Yeah, I think 6 months is pretty reasonable, because it's one of those things where, like, all it takes is a big space. Like, all it takes is the right space. And, like, once you're in the right space, like, honestly, you can just put up some light stands and some modifiers, and you can have a set sort of right there, and you're fine. But, you know, spend a little bit of time on it, and, like, over time, you can build it up into, like, a really versatile thing. You know, like, putting up a light grid isn't the hardest thing in the world. I mean, obviously depending on the space, but like it's just clamps and pipes, and those aren't expensive. And like wiring that up even doesn't have to be too hard, especially nowadays when everything's LED. 3000 1 Tango Sierra. You know, everything's LED, and so the power draw is pretty minimal. So like you don't need to install, you know, a crazy power setup to power everything. You know, you can come up with some pretty cool stuff on a reasonable budget and do it in a place that doesn't need a lot of infrastructure changes to support it. Yeah, let's I definitely want to coordinate more about this. Because honestly, if I could find the right piece of real estate, like that's really the thing that's the differentiating factor between like where I end up moving in the next year or so. Is just like, where can I find the right place to live? And then also the community stuff. That's obviously important. But yeah, Philly's a cool place. I like Philly a lot. And it's closer to New York. And hopefully I'll be working a lot in New York. And it looks like my ties to the Boston area.
Approaching altitude.
I've got the field in sight. 1 Tango Sierra. Then a visual 2-3, 1 Tango Sierra. Okay, so let's start focusing a little bit more on the flying. And go ahead and slow it down. So let me do some reality checks here. So we're flying essentially on an extended downwind for 2-3. Yeah, because that's 1-5 on the right there. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect autopilot and hand fly it all the way in. Which is something that people don't do often enough in the bigger planes. All this fancy schmancy automation. So those blinking lights that are heading towards the airport, that's the extended centerline for our runway. So we're gonna just do a slow turning descent here on final. And we are not landing. That would be, what would that be, 16? Yeah, 1635 is actually closed during certain hours right now. I think from from 1100 to 2300. Which I guess we're past, so technically it's open right now. But the winds, actually the winds, what do the winds favor? We're east. Interesting.
Epic 1 Tango Sierra, the wind 2205, runway 23 clear land.
23 clear land, 1 Tango Sierra.
Boston Center, American 1039 with your climbing 17,000.
American 1039 Boston Center, good evening, resume normal speed, climb and maintain level 210.
Okay, so
American 1039.
ExitJet 821, contact Cleveland Center 134.
doing some reality checks there, making sure I know where I'm at, what I'm doing. We're gonna add slow down. We are into flap extension speed, so we'll go ahead and put our gear down and our flaps down, and just double checking that we've got our landing lights on. So essentially we're on base right now. We are perpendicular to what our final will be. And we're losing all of our speed. So we'll bring in the power a little bit. It's really the key to solid approach is just power management. Once you are really nice and established, it makes the landing a whole heck of a lot easier. Anyways, another notch of flaps. That is our landing flaps. Just gonna watch the nose from porpoising up too much here. And also making sure that we have a good power level set. We can also stop turning until we get to our final approach course. We're a little bit high here. So we're gonna decrease the throttle a little bit, pitch down. Looks like there's another aircraft hanging out there at the north ramp. And actually, I definitely don't want to make this a long landing. That gives us a long taxi. So I'm going to see how well I can grease it in there. Get it right over the numbers. Still a little high. We'll continue to correct that. Actually, we're actually doing pretty well.
Approaching waypoint.
So we'll come in a little bit slower than normal, and we'll land. I will try to land a little bit sooner than normal. Confirming internally, do you have clearance to land? And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, still showing up as a little high. Oh, our trim is not at all set. This is not super stabilized, but let's get there really quick. That's feeling a lot better. And we're a little bit fast, and that's coming down now. Good.
500.
Okay, so we are feeling a lot better. Nice headwind here. Do about 95 knots.
Traffic. Traffic.
And I see that traffic, and it's no factor.
Climb. Climb.
Not gonna climb. I appreciate you letting me know. So we're coming in a lot lower than normal. We're just gonna even it off here. Make sure we're not losing too much speed.
50. 40. 30.
And
20,
gonna power off here
10.
and pull up.
Clear of conflict.
And there we go. And we'll go ahead and beta. And we will take the first exit on the right. Thank you for flight. And that is how you do it. Okay, landing lights off, taxi lights on. Go ahead and flaps are coming up. And he should give us taxi at pilot's discretion very soon here. If not, we'll give him a call. Boston Center 1 Tango Sierra is on the ground. We'll go ahead and cancel IFR and taxi the ramp.
1 Tango Sierra to Providence sector and via Bravo.
Via Bravo, 1 Tango Sierra, thanks. It's Bravo is this guy here. Not going up Alpha. Which makes sense. I'm used to going up Alpha because that's where the flight school is. But technically, the northwest ramp is faster to go by Bravo. Anyways, that was a solid landing. We used up maybe like a fifth of the runway. I'm gonna go ahead and replay that once we're parked and disconnected. I'm gonna take a look at that because that was a different approach than normal. It was about 10 knots slower than published final approach speed, and then landed short of where you would normally land. which was what I was trying to do, but let's see how well I executed that.
Okay, no.
Anyways, here we are at the ramp. Let's see where we're gonna go park. We'll park in between these larger aircraft. I think I've said this before, but this is one of my favorite parts about this, like, admittedly, like, not super complex scenery at Providence. These big airplanes are exactly where they're supposed to be, as are these small guys. This is where all the business jets hang out, as well as the cargo planes. So we are going to go nose to nose here, and then do a 180. Watching our clearance on the wing.
American 1039, a little bit off course there, turn right hand.
And brakes.
Turn right hand 090, American.
Alright, parking brakes are set. Out of beta mode. Prop, full feather. Fuel cut off, Uniter can come off. Gen can also come off. That's the pressurization. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to Unicom here. Alright. Yeah, that's pretty nice. No, Philly's a great location for New York. I mean, already my realistic commute to New York is like 5 hours, you know, in heavy traffic. And so I would love to make that a shorter trip. You know, it's still not short, but it's definitely shorter. More of a straight shot. Right. Go ahead and shut. Actually, let's go ahead and disconnect. Disconnect. And let's rewind a little bit. See how we did here. Get rid of it.
Climb. Climb.
It's going to make a lot of noises. Get to an exterior view. That sunset though. Yeah, it is a pretty nice sunset for the sim. And the clouds right now don't look great, but I also don't have their complexity dialed up. Which honestly, I don't know why. Computer can probably handle it no problem. I just prefer, I'm just prioritizing frames per second over pretty clouds. They look okay sometimes. Not so much right now. They're just not super complex. Anyways, so that is definitely a lower approach profile than usual. We've sort of already pre-flared here. That's when we cut the throttle over the fence, flared, and nice and gently down. That was great. And so, yeah, that was before the primary TDZE. And we got down nice and quick. It was great. Take another look at that. Let me find a tower view here. A little far away, but it'll work. The flare. And yep. Cool. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. Felt very nice. And now that's where I'm at now, so all that's left to do, open the door, put the flag and chops up, and I can't remember, we shut down the engine, but I don't know if we didn't shut down anything else down, so all this stuff can go away. Oh, we're still in replay mode. Out of that. Off, 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 off. Oh, good. Cut off. Cool. That's it. That was a little jaunt down to New York and back for the Saturday night Light Up Kennedy Vatsim event. It was a pretty sweet flight. Thanks for anyone who joined us, and see you guys next time.